Hello, welcome to another Vintage Cube draft. Wow, there's a lot of good stuff in this pack. Yawgmoth's Will is awesome. Cryptic Command is cool. Ravages of War is very powerful in White Weenie, but I think probably we're just going to take Mana Vault. It's colorless and it just adds so much mana. I think it's much better to have the Mana Vault and then take something like Vraska or Freyalise, where you can play like... Mana Vault enables a turn 3 Vraska, turn 2 Freyalise, which is just insane. So there's a lot of green, but I think in this pack we're hoping to wheel Yawgmoth's Will. You can do some busted stuff with that card. Here there's a Dimir Signet. Chandra's pretty good. Ulamog's okay. Packrat is good in the Packrat deck. I've actually been kind of impressed with Chartercourse. The fact that it's not card disadvantage in the base case, but when you attack it's actually card advantage, I think makes it quite a bit better than Careful Study. There's a Wildfire, but I think Dimir Signet's one of the better Signets. Any Signet that's blue is just already very strong. Wow, we can really turbo out a Wormcoil with this deck. There's also Metamorph. I feel like Razaketh is just not good. There's Sensei's Top, Winter Orb. That's actually tough between Wormcoil and Metamorph. Metamorph is just so versatile. Wormcoil, it gets the job done, I guess. Sure. Ooh, okay. Strip Mine is great. Seeing it go this late's kind of weird. This card's so busted. There's Moat, Smuggler's Copter. But we're sticking with the brown right now. Strip Mine's good with Crucible as well. Hang on one sec. Sorry, someone's calling me and it was shaking a lot. Could take Braids. There's also Bayou. I don't know if green-black is like really an artifacts color. I'm trying to see. I don't like many of these for what we're trying to do. Braids are the only card that's like kind of cool with what we got going on. I'll keep myself open to stacks, even though it's pretty unlikely we do end up playing it. I want to make a good stack with Braids and stuff at some point, so might as well start now. Ooh, well, hi. There's a Smokestack. The card is likely to come around. And also Tezzeret would be awesome in this style of deck as well. I guess it's not. Let's see. What would pass instead? Maybe Luteral Core, Parallax Wave, Acidic Slime, or Tide Hollow Scholar. Mana Vault is a way to play turn 2 Smokestack, and that's a really strong play. You could also just grab Tezzeret though. Probably Tezzeret's better. And you never know, Smokestack, out of all those cards, is one of the ones that's pretty likely to come around. But we already have the Dimir Signet, now we can take a Watery Grave for our Tezzeret. Probably not a Dark Confidant deck. That's a really late Grave Titan as well. But I think I'm going to prioritize the fixing for now. Wow. Elish Norn, Swords to Plowshares, Diabolic Edict. I don't think this is going to be a disc deck, considering how many artifacts we have. We could just take Lady Gaga. Is that better than Swords? Maybe Swords is better because it's so cheap. And if we do end up in like a Braid Smokestack style deck with like Strip Mine, we want cheap threats. Or cheap answers. There's Ravages. There's also a Mentor, Vraska, and a Scrubland. I think this is one of the most important picks of the draft right here. Scrubland gives us better mana. Ravages set us up to do stuff. I'm just gonna take Scrubland. Wow, Path to Exile came around? Sure. Yeah, fine with that. I don't think these cards should be going as late as they are. So we have Pernicious Deed, Force Spike. Actually, Nezumi Shortfang could be kind of funny. Try it. In a stack deck, this is a real win condition. Moat? Moat or Shambling Vent? I actually don't know. Moat can just lock out some decks, but Shambling Vent gives us better mana fixing. Moat's good in stacks. Spear of Heliod, I'm not taking anything else. Okay, someone took Smokestack, which is kind of upsetting. Ooh, Dark Confidant? Okay. Alright. Well, we're not going to be able to Smokestack, but I think there are better ways to make that this archetype work than that. So these are 4-drops. What's going on? Okay. Ooh. Bitter Blossom. Duress. Bloodstained Mire gets both of our fixing cards. Probably Bitter Blossom is just the most raw power. And Bitter Blossom mode is a pretty funny win condition. Yeah, hope to wheel a Bloodstained Mire, but Bitter Blossom's awesome. If you can play it early, it just wins very often. Maybe we're not on the Tezzeret plan anymore. I haven't seen like any blue. Mana Vault still seems good enough. You can play like a turn 2 Braids or something. And Braids plus Bitter Blossom's also really good. Memory Jar. Declaration in Stone is okay. Soulfire Grandmaster, Painful Truth, Shrine. Not as excited about this pack. Trying to think, do we want a Memory Jar here? What do you use Memory Jar for with just like Dark Confidant nonsense? Grandmaster lets us buy back. We don't even really have blue. Declaration in Stone is likely to wheel, plus we already have better effects. I don't know, I'm between Painful Truths, Grandmaster, and Memory Jar. Just, this is a draw 2 so bad. We'll take the jar. In case we end up in the Tezzeret deck, it will be really good. Wow, nothing's loading. Probably Vindicate is really good in this deck. Maybe we can wheel Emrakul, Desecration Demon, Faith's Fetters. Maybe Kithian, I don't know, but Vindicate's pretty strong. There's an Armageddon. Windswept Heath just gets Scrubland, okay. There's also Ugin. Armageddon. Honestly, I think it's looking like we're going to want an Armageddon. We're pretty low to the ground. Rashad in Port, just a really strong card. Nezumi Green Robber is likely to come around, so I'm going to take the Port. Thoughtseize is great. Probably would take Disenchant as well, but Hand Disruption is awesome. Not going to be Gristlebranding or Ulamogging. Oh! No! Ah, I misclicked! Ah. Well, we would have an extra Thoughtseize. That's brutal. How did I click the wrong card? Whatever. Thoughtseize it's exactly what we wanted too. But we gotta go on. I've literally never done that before. I don't know if Moat, we have like one flying creature. Okay, so Blade Splicer, or Badlands. I don't think we're abyssing. Probably just a Blade Splicer. It's cheap, effective. It is boring, but you know. Okay, we're gonna click more carefully going forward. And maybe Thoughtseize will wheel, I really doubt it. God, that would have been so good in this deck. We can take Duress. Make us feel a little bit better about our decisions. Whew. Armageddon Braids with Bitter Blossom in play. So that's beginning of upkeep, that's beginning of upkeep. So you can just sack Bitter Blossom tokens to Braids. Good to know, good to know. Yeah, here I think we just take Grandmaster in case we need more dudes. So Desecration Demon is a really strong threat just to play out pretty early. And I think we can find more effects like Fate's Fetters, like an Oblivion Ring, Spectral Procession, or Liliana. Liliana might be a bit expensive. Do I want the tokens though? You know, it's possible we end up playing Spear. I'll take the tokens. Grave Robber, sure. Okay, this was the Thoughtseize pack, so someone else took it. It's really disappointing. Okay. But, you know, besides that, there's two Nizumis and an Iona. Never know. I was just gonna say, can we get a Mox? Mox Jet really ramps up the power level of this deck. Being able to go like turn 3 Braids or something is really good. Maybe we can wheel Inquisition or Lingering Souls or Knight, but with these 3 cards, I think we're likely to get one of them, and Mox Jet is one of the best cards we could have hoped for here. Black Lotus obviously is better, but take what I can get. Godless Shrine helps our mana a lot. And Karakas does Karakas things. I think I'm just going to take Godless Shrine. This card frequently comes around. Maybe we can get Seeker of the Way or something, but just better mana is so nice. Especially if we're trying to cast stuff like Spectral Procession into Braids. Ooh, Crucible. To go with our Strip Mine. We don't have Wasteland just yet. But I think that's, you know, good enough that it's worth taking. If we pick up a Wasteland or a Fetch, this becomes so good. It's also good with Armageddon also, or as well, so take that. Whew. Okay, Liliana, Chrome Mox, Hymn to Turok, Polluted Delta, all great cards. So maybe we're not on Spear Spectral Procession. Chrome Mox really just accelerates out our 3 and 4 drops. Him, I think I'm most likely to wheel, so I'm not going to take that. It's between Chrome Mox and Liliana. Liliana really powers out an archetype like this. So does Chrome Mox, though. Whew, this is tough. I think I'm going to take Liliana. Yeah, she's less likely to come. I don't know. That was a really hard pick. I think I could go either way. So we have Silverblade Paladin, Banishing Light, Hero's Downfall, Recurring Nightmare. What do we have to get with that? Not a whole lot. I think it's just Banishing Light here. As unexciting as that is. Hostage Anchor would be kind of fun, but this card is just good. Decks like this also have a hard time dealing with Planeswalkers usually. So that's one way to do it. Okay, Tassiger. We can't activate his ability though, so that's something to think about. There's a Shriek Maw. Student of Warfare if we want to go really white weenie, but I'm not really sold on that. And then Walking Ballista. It's just okay. It just kills weenies mostly. Yeah, this isn't a Duretti deck. This pick's really tough. I think Shriekmaw, Tassiger. Yeah, I'm just gonna take Shriekmaw. Oh wow, Wasteland. Perfect. It goes with Crucible. Alright. Anguished Unmaking kills anything. We can also turbo out a Lodestone Golem. This is not a bizarre deck. Let's see, how quickly can we play a Lodestone? We don't have Ancient Tomb. And this is non-land permanent, unfortunately. Thoughtseize would be so good in this deck. Okay. Inquisition versus Lingering Souls. I think I just need to take Inquisition. Exhume is not great. Try to think. I guess I'll take this. My opponent's for some reason playing Show and Tell. Honor of the Pure could be good. It doesn't pump Bitter Blossom tokens though. Yeah, I'm not going to play that. I'll take Living Death on the off chance I need a board wipe. Mistress Factory is pretty nice. So this was the awesome pack, and we didn't really get anything back. We got a Hero's Downfall, which is okay. Massacre Worm. So one of these Nezumis is good and one is not. Ooh, Skin Render. I might actually play that. This deck is looking pretty awesome. It's, again, a Thoughtseize away from being the Nutter Butters, but that's okay. We have Wasteland, Rishadan Port, and Strip Mine, so we're not going to be water degrading. So Grave Robber eats dudes. I'm not really into the Grave Robber. I think Shortfang's kind of cool because it's just a pretty nice win condition. 2 mana make them discard. If we have enough mana for that, which I think we 22, we need one more playable. Huh. The Thoughtseize would have been the last playable. Maybe with Strip, Wasteland, Port, Factory, we play 18 lands. Shriekmaw is here. Wow, one fetch would have made this deck so good. Do we play 18 lands or do we play something like Spectral Procession? I think 18 lands. 6/5. How does that look? So we have, it's only 17 plus the Mox, which I'm counting as a land. A lot more black than we do white. The only double white spell we have is Fiend Hunter. We could swap out for Hero's Downfall, but I like the fact that it's a creature too. Again, we could put in Spear of Heliod. That makes our Bitter Blossom really good, but that's about it. I think I'd rather just have stuff that actually does something. And I mean, most of this deck does stuff, so. Yeah, I'm gonna run it like this. I think this deck looks pretty good. Maybe Chrome Box over Liliana, because right now our curve is pretty 3 heavy. But other than that, the deck looks awesome. See you guys run one. Oh, a Thalia would have really helped as well. But, you know, can't win them all.